Welcome to Cawffee Talk. I'm Mark Tullis. This is my partner, Kirsten Coleman.
Hello.
We are Coffee Cup Productions, and it's New Music Monday.
Yeah, and you guys, I'm totally geeked out. We have Ann Harris with us today, and I don't even know where to begin. She's like so incredible and so wonderful, and yeah, I mean,
Kirsten,
honestly, I'm
really
totally excited about having Ann on the show. She's just a beautiful, beautiful soul, and her music is just life-changing. You just have to listen. She's just a wonderful person. So
some of you are watching us live on Facebook or after the fact, and you can also find us on YouTube, or our coffeecupproductions.com website has all of these podcasts, and then you can share the links to this show on the different podcast platforms.
On the audio podcast platforms,
right.
Yeah. We have Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play Music, and iTunes.
It's Cawffee Tawk, C-A-W-F-F-E-E, and then Talk is T-A-W-L-K.
No, T-A-W-K.
T-A-W-K. Oh, my gosh. You'll never find us.
It's T-A-W-K, Cawffee Tawk, and you'll see all the interviews that we've done there. So.
Yes. So we're going to have Ann Harris on, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Renata Marino. I'm the founder and CEO of BlazinBabes. BlazinBabes is a women's professional networking company. We are chapter-based, supported by tech. We offer women career development networking events on a monthly basis, supported by a networking website. These events are socially centric, female-centric, and offer women the opportunity to meet on a personal level at a cycle class, a boutique, a fashion show, a nail salon, where women can unwind, kick off their shoes, put on their stilettos, grab a cocktail, network with one another on a personal basis, which then morphs into the professional realm. We've helped women return to work, we've helped women launch companies, gain clients, transition from a 20-year career in a consulting business to maybe a startup. If you're interested in learning more about who we are and what we do and how we can help you, visit our website at www.blazinbabes.org.
Hi, I'm Vinay. I'm a cosmetic surgeon and dermatologist. I'm the founder of Veda Grace. It's a cosmetic clinic that's virtual when you want it and in person when you need it. It's meant for women who want to address a dermatological concern but are just busy working professionals or mothers. We invented an imaging technology that allows us to see into your skin while you're at home, allows us to prescribe a totally personalized product that gets shipped directly to your house. You only come in when you have to. If you'd like to know more or try it out, visit us at vedagraceclinic.com.
And we're back, and we have with us via Google Hangouts, Ann Harris.
Yay! Hi, Ann. Okay, so I told Ann off air that I was going to fangirl out for a second, and I'm gonna.
Begin.
I swear to God, I saw Ann Harris for the first time in my life playing with Anders Osborne at City Winery. And I love Anders.
She's a bit of a fan.
I'm a bit of an Anders fan, so and then Ann Harris steps on stage. And I'm like, who is this woman? And she starts playing the fiddle, and I was like, who is this woman? She is phenomenal. How come I don't know her? How come, where? She's amazing. So ethereal and so like, oh my God, it's just breathtaking watching you play your instrument and on stage and just be part of, you're like, you embody what you're playing. It's just so beautiful to watch, and it's incredible. Where have you been all my life?
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that. I don't even, your sentiments and words are so generous, and I am overwhelmed. Thank you so much. As you might realize, I spend most of my time in a basement working on So
when she's out, she's really out there.
Yeah, when she's out, she's out.
Yes,
Please let me thank you both for, first of all, supporting indie music in the way that you do, because it's just so important.
It is.
And it's so appreciated by everyone that your reach connects with. It's how we discover new music now, is through these alternative outlets. And the wonderful thing is that your motive is so pure, and it's really driven by your love and support of music.
Thank
So
you.
I
That's
want
sweet.
to give
Thank you.
a fangirl back at Thank you just for having a platform, and the fact that you would want to invite me here to talk with you guys for a little bit is really it's an honor for me. So thank you.
No, you seriously, our fans will know instantly what I'm talking about when they see your work and when they see we'll talk about Him for Her. It's one of your most amazing songs. The minute I left the Anders show, we got home, I Googled you and I watched all your videos. It's just wow. I mean, it's just mesmerizing, and it's very cool. And you have to tell me how you know Anders Osborne.
Well, it's funny with this world of music, especially the roots world. And I've been playing in the blues world for 10 years now. And it's a really pretty small community. There's a lot of us in it, but it's a small family when it gets down to it, especially in the scope of the rest of the music industry and how much is going on. So when you get into the roots genre, it's an extended family, and you're pretty much, way less than 6 degrees of separation from very many people.
As we found out very recently, we went to go see our friend Stephanie Rogers at City Winery, and
guess who's on stage?
And in the show. And then who are we sitting next to? We're sitting next to Temple
Schultz,
and then Nicholas Barron. So it's all your life she's been very close to you.
You've been very close to me, yes.
I know. It's funny we didn't meet sooner, but I, like you, am a huge fan of Anders, and I have been for a really long time, and sort of, stalking him very, very subtly through the years, and listening to whatever he puts out, I want to hear.
Yeah.
And it turned out that a project I was working on with Ivan Neville, a project called Neville Jacobs with Chris Jacobs and Ivan Neville.
Also two heroes.
wonderful band. And their drummer, Blade, ended up being a friend of mine and knowing a dear friend of mine. And he was playing for Anders and still does play for Anders. Not every show, but a lot of them, and was touring a lot, quite extensively. And I happened to have been in the right place at the right time, and it just came about that I was allowed to get up and jam at Brooklyn Bowl with Anders for a few songs in the band. And there's certain artists that I hear that I feel them. I feel their hearts. I have a true cellular understanding of how I can contribute sonically to that. And there's artists that I love that I'm like, I would love to play with them, but they don't need, there's nothing I can add to that. And then there's artists I hear that I could go, I could do this, and it would work in my little brain. And Anders has always been an artist like that. And he was very generous and very trusting. And I came recommended, and he knew I was touring with a high profile blues artist. So it wasn't totally out of the blue, but it was just kind of, our paths, I think, might have even crossed in Telluride at a couple of blues fests, not playing together, but he seeing me play with Otis Taylor, who I used to tour with. And anyway, it all came around to, a situation where the circumstances were right. I got to jam with them, and we, have a huge mutual respect for each other. And I'm so grateful to have a chance to here and there play with him, and hopefully there'll be more of that in the future.
Oh, I hope so too. I mean, honestly, if you guys get to see them, Anders and Ann together.
Yeah. Well, Nicholas told me basically everybody who connects with Anne just falls in love with her being, and so that's a connection for like like Anders is going to call her every time he comes through town.
Yeah, every time.
Like, that's just the way she connects.
That's very sweet of Nicholas. I've played with Anders several times through the years in Milwaukee and Chicago a couple times, and obviously most recently, at that City Winery show. That's sweet of Nicholas. Very sweet.
Very cool.
You are our first guest on New Music Monday that has a trailer. And so
how exciting is that?
Yes. So we have a lot of things to talk about, but I think it's good to just jump into a trailer.
Sure.
Do you want to set up your trailer?
Yeah, I'll tell you, this was most of the things that happen in my life hit me in the back of the head. I've got this giant callus on the back of my head. And no matter how much I try to plan and prepare for certain things, it seems that the path of my life has always been things kind of hitting me from where I least expect it on the back of the head. And when I got an email a year ago from a local director by the name of Mark Schimmel to ask if I'd be interested in being a part of a small indie short film that he was going to be shooting in Chicago, about a musician, I was like, that would be so much fun.
Somehow that fits. Yeah.
So he sent me the treatment, and I looked through it. There was no dialogue in this movie. There's only music and the performances.
Yeah, an interaction with a young child, right? A young girl.
Yes. And so it kind of took off from there. And again, it was a situation where someone had recommended me to this director and said, "Do you know of this person, Ann Harris?" And he kind of looked at my game tapes. And the girl's name is Reese.
Okay.
Reese Harley. She's just a light. She's a really wonderful little girl. He got her the casting director. So this is a long-winded way of setting up the trailer, but basically we shot the film last summer in a few days in June, I think it was, early July, late June. And he put the film together. And I mean, I was also fortunate in that he used my music for the soundtrack, if you will. And that's the story. It's being entered in film festivals across the country right now. So when it's done running the film festival circuit, it will be released to the general public.
Wow.
But we just found out that we won. The film won first place in the short film category at the Queen Palm Film Festival. It's an international film festival.
Wow. Congrats. That's awesome.
And my music won honorable mention for music for the film. So
wow.
A very proud moment. Well, let's go to the trailer and then we'll talk some more about it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Thanks.
How about that trailer?
No, that was really. I mean, it's cool to watch the interaction with you and your fiddle, and then the little girl and the fiddle, and how that all comes together. It's pretty magical. So that's kind of.
I have to say that I like Mark Schimmel's style. It's, first of all, he captured Chicago in its shiniest time of year.
Yes.
And then and everything, every shot is vibrant and legible. That's a big pet peeve.
That's a big thing, yeah.
And it's got dynamic movement in it, which is so much extra work. But man, when you do the work and it comes out great. It's so worth it. So very cool. I was fanboying on his stuff earlier.
Totally, Mark Schimmel and his team were unbelievable, and we really had a vision for it, and so to see him able to realize it in the way that he wanted to is super exciting, and to be a part of that is
and to be awarded for that is pretty much
crazy.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Well, Chicago has been deemed kind of the flyover market, and there's so much talent and great artistry that happens here. It's nice to see it come together. It's nice to have connection to it, and then to see, that there are institutions like Columbia College and things are starting to make a dent and really calling attention.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's been that way all along. But Chicago is has this it's invisible in a lot of ways, and people kind of get surprised when something really giant or excellent artistic wise comes out of Chicago. But we are a working city, and the artists work just as hard. The work ethic of the artists and musicians, all artists across all genres is really incredible and inspiring to me. People show up to do the work here. They don't show up to be stars or to, get 10 minutes of celebrity. I mean, they really, in my experience.
Mm-hmm. That's why, honey. See, because we do the work, and then, she's like, wow, what time did you get done wrapping up all that gear?
Yeah. Wait, we're spending how many hours there again for $300?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
that's why.
Okay. Sure.
Well, speaking of work, you are going to have a busy summer. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen? You're going to Vermont and Washington and Canada.
I've got, I'm lucky in that I have several really great roots music blues projects that I'm involved with right now. One of them is called Gumbo Grits and Gravy, and it's with Guy Davis and Marcella Simeon. I don't know if you know either of those artists, but Guy Davis is a wonderful blues artist who's been around a long time, making gorgeous, contemplative, just really lovely roots blues.
Is from this area?
No, Guy lives out in New York.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he's been doing it for a very long time. He's Grammy nominated, and he tours internationally. And I've been a fan of Guy's for quite a while, and we've been wanting to do something together. And he had this idea of a roots trio that is now, we launched it in January. Marcella Simeon, the third piece of this triumvirate, is an amazing singer-songwriter who's from New Orleans. She's the daughter of royalty, Terrence Simeon, who's a accordion player, Cajun Zydeco player from NOLA. So she plays a little bit of accordion, but she now lives in Memphis. Beautiful voice, also plays keyboard. So it's the three of us touring with that, and that's beginning its trajectory. And then I'm also
that's the one going in Washington or Vermont or okay.
And we've got a couple of things that I can't say anything about because they have that haven't been officially revealed, but they'll be announced soon. So
we're almost breaking some dates here.
No, but will be, and you can check all of her schedule on her website. Yes. So definitely go to the Ann Harris website and check the schedule often.
ANNEHARRIS.com.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is for our auditory,
yes,
our
people
audible
need to know how
audience.
to spell Ann correctly. And then in Wisconsin, and then Las Vegas, and
I work also with an all-star blues project that kind of came about through another just spontaneous jam situation with the amazing J.P. Soares, who's a blues singer-songwriter based in Florida, and Jason Ricci, who is an otherworldly harp player, singer-songwriter.
Wow.
So I've got tours lined up with them and a project with the alt bluesman Marcus James, who's another musician that I was a fan of for a long time. And then we ended up collaborating on some stuff. And now we're doing some. So I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's amazing. You get, we know people across the nation. We'll make sure to let them know when you're out there and when you're coming, because you guys need to see these people, definitely.
And does your family travel with you when you?
Occasionally, but not always. It's my husband and I have a 13-year-old now.
Oh, good luck with that.
I love the journey. I've loved the whole journey of being a mother and helping to hopefully be a positive influence in this life. It's been an incredible exercise in so many ways, and I think the best thing. Well, I don't know. There's so many bests, but
there's a lot of best things. Yeah,
important things is that my role as a mother really grounds me into what is truly important.
Mm-hmm.
And every second that I spend touring or on stage playing music, and I'm not with my family, has to be. It's a decision to commit 100% of myself, because I want my daughter to have that sense of it's all or nothing for the thing that you love.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to sacrifice my time with my family, it's going to be because I'm going to put 100% of myself into the love of music and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And those two forces are, in a strange way, as hard as it is to organize and keep track of, it's a very grounding, spiritual thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole kid thing is definitely it is a journey, like what you said, and I think that there's so many rewarding pieces of it that all the negative stuff kind of just goes away when you see their little faces, and you're just like, oh my God, you're like a real human that is just so awesome right now. I mean, I've got two adult children, and they're both incredible human beings, and I couldn't be more thrilled for both of them that they're so amazing.
And the things you learn when you're trying to teach them. And then it's like, well, I guess I got the lesson there. So.
Well, I learned something.
I went into the journey thinking I'm going to definitely be learning way more than I could ever hope to teach. But I hope through example of just pursuing with 100% of my heart the thing I love, that will give her a solid, concrete example of someone in her life that did that.
Yeah, good grounding. Yeah, exactly.
I think you're doing pretty good there.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
I wanted to just let people know that Ann Harris can be found on YouTube and Facebook, Ann.Harris.official, Twitter, Ann Harris Music, Instagram, Ann.Harris.music, and SoundCloud, also Ann-Harris-music, and of course we mentioned AnnHarris.com.
Yeah.
So
thank you for all of those mentions.
Yes, everybody. I hope I said that slowly enough.
So we're going to play Hymn for Her, and we would love to hear how that all came together. How did that tune happen for you?
A couple of years ago, aunt of mine that was very elderly and lived a wonderful life passed on, and it wasn't a tragic. She was upwards in her 90s and had always been very independent, and I didn't know her very well at all, but there was something that I loved about the story of her life, because she was one of those women that at the time wore pants and never got married and had her own brownstone in Brooklyn. You know, it was just a very progressive person, and very much an example to men and women around her at that time. And when she passed on, I just wanted to write a hymn, an acknowledgement, an honoring of the spirit that I felt about this woman. So it happened very quickly, and I wrote, and it was one of those few times when a song comes very easily and quickly, and usually it's a melody or parts of a melody will linger around, and I'll pluck it, and I'll have trouble attaching it to the further idea to realize it in a bigger way. But this was one of those ones that just seemed to be like, here it is. I'm ready to be here. And I also like the idea that it sounds to me anyway, like a traditional older hymn type of melody.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely hear that in there.
She would have related.
It's just I think she would have loved it. Definitely. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, and it shows Anne in like all of her strength and all of her power and all of her crazy beauty, and it's a wonderful thing. And listen to this song, watch the video, because it's part of the song, and you need to see Anne perform, and it's like a whole body experience. So
for those of you who are just listening, seek out this video.
Seek out the video, because it's definitely worth watching.
Great.
Anne, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you both. I'm so honored by the work that you're doing, and I know that all the artists that you've interviewed and worked with feel the same way. It's such a crazy world out there for us.
It is. Yeah, we got to stick together, girl.
You're part of it, you know. We're all doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Anne. And we will see you soon, I'm sure, somewhere in the area here. So,
peace and love and light to you. And again, I don't know what to say other than I hope I see you sooner than later at the City Winery again.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, Anne, take good care and good luck on your travels, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks.
Talk is a Coffee Cup Productions podcast. Find our video podcasts on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, coffeecupproductions.com. Audio podcasts can be downloaded from Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play Music, and Spotify. Search for Cawffee Tawk, CAWFFEETAWK, Cawffee Tawk.